Dan Brett here, founder and CSO of CounterCraft. Today I'm talking to Luke Wilson, the VP of Operations and Partnerships. I'm going to be asking him about deception, active defense, and the future of cybersecurity. Keep watching. Hi Luke, great to be with you on Meet the Crafters. How are you doing?
I'm doing great, Dan. How about you?
Really good. Okay, so it's great to have you here. I've got a couple of questions to ask you. So let's key off with this one. I've heard there's a big difference between deep sea fishing and ocean surf fishing, but I have no idea what it is. Can you help me out, Luke?
The real, I would say the real difference is the deep sea fishing. They probably put you right on top of the fish. Surf fishing, you're really fishing for whatever's out there. So that's the difference.
Cool. So I can see you're a big expert on fishing, which is grand. Okay. So now talking more about you and your history. So you started back at the DoD, and you're working counter-terrorism. How did you get from there to here today? Can you give us just a really quick review of what's been happening in your life up till now?
Yeah, definitely. So yeah, at DoD, that was back during 9/11. So I worked a lot of the counterterrorism cases. And I got over to the FBI. I started off in counterterrorism, but ended up at Nation State Cyber Center. And, they're kind of using some of the same techniques that I used for counterterrorism, looking at the digital footprint of terrorists. It's the same thing for nation state cyber actors. We're looking at their digital footprint globally and trying to understand and unmask who they are.
That's really interesting. So it sounds like you kind of had all these kind of techniques and abilities from the real world, and you were able to apply them in the digital realm. That's super useful. Okay.
Definitely. Yes.
I also heard that you set up the very first kind of crypto investigation unit, right, in the FBI. I guess that came out of that. Is that right?
Yes, sir. It did. It was at that time, cryptocurrency and Bitcoin was considered what they called funny money. Nobody really was going to spend it and use it. Let's just say I wish I would have invested back then, but we were too much we were too much involved in trying to find the bad guy, and right. Once you realize that it's not the actual currency that's bad, it's the people that are behind it that's using it for bad things, just like cash. But it's that digital aspect of it that made it very elusive and very easy to hide your tracks and what you were doing. So myself and a couple other people on the task force were able to, create this interagency task force at which DOJ gave us some funding to help solve that issue. And it's still going today. And, there's about 22 different other agencies that were involved in it. So as me and another individual had the idea, it took a really, I hate to say this cliche whole of government approach to actually get it done.
I mean, I think it sounds like a fantastic story, and I think for us, it's really great that you've got this amazing kind of knowledge of having worked with, cyber criminals, be able to follow them and, and help kind of sort of make the world safer, by getting rid of these things. So that leads me to what I'm going to say now is you've gone from that and you've come to CounterCraft. So could I ask you, what is it you see in this project and tell us how you feel a bit about joining CounterCraft, okay?
Yeah, great. I'd love it. Just from my experience from DOD and the FBI and just in the commercial industry, being somewhere where you can be proactive against these bad individuals and be able to help clients and government agencies as well to be on the forefront of looking at these hackers and other individuals that want to cause harm to companies and people. I think it's one of the biggest reasons why I was attracted to come to CounterCraft. When you look at just the years and years of cybersecurity companies, out there trying to protect, companies and their clients, I think things have to change. And CounterCraft gives, companies and clients the ability to take kind of take the fight to the adversary. And when I say that, basically it allows them to, understand who's attacking them, but then also figure out, okay, how do I want to manipulate or obfuscate my own networks from these individuals. And so to me, I think that's a fantastic way to start looking at things. You can't continue to do business the same way, especially when you look at, the pandemic, and, you're getting hit with cyber attacks daily. You have to figure out a way to mitigate the actions of these individuals that's, are very brazen and seem like there's no repercussion for them.
Absolutely.
The United States government has been doing a pretty good job of indicting individuals and naming and shaming. But at some point, I've always been the person that, saying at some point I have to kind of protect myself. And how do I do that? And that's, drive up the cost of these individuals to do business. It falls right in line with the Defend Forward campaign that, the United States IC community has been pushing for a while now, for about 4 years. And I do believe that, there's a way that commercial entities can protect themselves in that way as well. So CounterCraft is very good, for the defensive side, and, in some aspects, for maybe government partners, they have other ways to use it on the offensive side. But I think, and what I really was interested in was being able to be on the forward-thinking, forward-leaning side of cybersecurity, and that's exactly what CounterCraft does.
Yeah, that's great. Exactly. I always really simply try to wrap it up by saying, we like to detect threats, collect threat intel around them, and then manage attacks as they happen. And like you said, and one thing we can do is, we can increase the cost for people that are kind of hacking into companies, and that's just super important to kind of change that dynamic. Okay.
Yeah.
So great stuff. Okay. So listen, Luke, it's been fantastic talking to you. Thanks for coming on and, sharing a bit of your life and your history with us. Looking forward to doing loads more stuff in the future. Okay.
Yeah. Thank you, Dan. I appreciate the time.
Okay. And don't forget to like and subscribe to this video so you can find out more about the crafters in future episodes. Okay.